So, I've done a bit of reorganizing in my area to make more room for me to work on more computer projects, and that's exactly what I'm going to do tonight. Here we have the Gateway 2000 G6-200 that I have already made a video on, and in that video I mentioned that the Pentium Pro was never really optimized for home computing tasks such as playing games and doing a lot of multimedia stuff, and it was more designed for Windows NT 4 than it was Windows 95 or 98. So what we're going to do tonight is install Windows NT 4 on this machine. I have gone ahead and put back the 3.6 gigabyte hard drive that this machine came with just so I can keep my Windows 98 installation separate in case I ever want to use it again. And we're going to see what we can do with that. I'm also testing out a new monitor as well. This is a Dell UltraSharp 24-inch monitor, and what appealed to me is that it has VGA, DVI, and DisplayPort inputs, and it also has the ability to change between 16 by 10, 4 by 3, and 5 by 4 aspect ratios, so you won't get that weird stretch image effect if you try to display like a 640 by 480 resolution screen on this. It'll come with the black bars, but it'll at least look normal. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get everything set up, and we'll start installing NT4. Okay, we're back, and we are ready to get started installing Windows NT4. Now, we're going to be installing Windows NT4 Workstation, obviously, since I have no plans to use this as a server. And to do this, you're going to need a few things, mainly the bootable floppy diskettes. There are 3 of them. I have labeled them each 1, 2, and 3. So unlike Windows 95 and 98, you actually need 3 floppy disks before you can even get to installing NT. And then you will need the installation CD as well, and I have just gone ahead and found ISOs of these, burned them CDs, and then that's what I'm doing. So we'll go ahead and put disk 1 in the drive, turn the computer on, and we'll put the installation CD in the drive. Now, I have messed with Windows NT 4 in the past, but it has been a very long time since I have done so. So this is going to be somewhat of a learning experience, cutting through all the bushes for me as well. So if none of you have seen an installation of Windows NT 4 before, it might be new to me as well, and hopefully the camera will focus. If not, I might have to tell it to focus manually if I can. Maybe if I turn on the brightness, that'll help a little bit. That looks a little bit better. Oh, now it wants disk 2. Let's try turn the light off, see if that helps. Press enter. Unfortunately, it looks like it still wants to be uncooperative. I don't know if you're able to see that, but see if I can pivot the camera up. Now it's doing the little Windows NT 4 first boot screen, although for some reason it says it's the multiprocessor kernel. Perhaps it's just the generic kernel that it loads, because this definitely does not have two processors installed. I'll go ahead and reset this back to the way I had it. And there we go. Welcome to Windows NT 4 setup. Press enter. Let's see. This can automatically detect floppy drive controllers. You can bypass. Let's try and detect mass storage. Oh, now it wants disk 3, so I'm going to have to put that in. And press enter. I think the only one it's going to load here is the IDE CD-ROM drive controller, and that's what it found. And now it's going through all these different SCSI host adapter controllers to see if it can find any of them, and it's not going to. So you don't have to sit and wait while it searches for all of these. I think I'm going to stop the video here and see if I can get the camera to focus better throughout the video. Okay, there we go. I have gone ahead and turned on manual focus, so hopefully we should not have that problem again. So it has found the IDE CD-ROM driver, and that's all it's going to want to find. So we'll press enter. We are still running off of the floppy diskettes here. We have not actually done anything with the CD yet. Now, if you were installing this on a server or another computer with like a SCSI controller, and you didn't have the drivers already installed on here, you usually get a prompt to insert your own driver disk to be able to actually load in like a RAID driver, so you can actually install the software on your computer. And that looks good. And it recognizes my old partition, so I'm going to go ahead and just delete it. You can convert it to NTFS if you want it to, but yeah, we're just going to format using NTFS. And now this is going to take quite some time, but Yeah, like I said, if you didn't have the driver already preloaded onto the disk 3, what I assume is the driver diskette, you would usually get a prompt to like press, I think it was F6, to load in your own RAID driver diskette, and then from there you would load it yourself. And if you had like a RAID set up on your boot drive, then you'd be able to install Windows. So I'm not going to make you wait through all this while it formats the drive, so I'll cut the video here and we'll be back. Okay, we're almost done, and once this gets done, well, to be honest, I'm not quite sure. I guess we're going to find out here in 1 second what happens once we're done formatting the disk. And it's going to ask, where do you want your files? That's fine. We'll examine my hard disk for corruption. I might as well just do this. I'm going to stop the video while it's doing it anyway. Okay, that was fast. I didn't cut the video at all there. It just did one quick check, and now it's copying files to the hard disk. Now, this is not the complete installation right here. I do remember this much. I think after this is done, it's going to go into a graphical user interface environment, and then we're going to finish installation from there. It's sort of like installing Windows 2000 or Windows XP, which kind of makes sense because it is, all of those operating systems are built off of the same NT kernel that gave Windows NT for its famous reliability that was far superior to anything you could get from Windows 95 or 98 at the time. And because of this aftermarket fast CD, it's actually a rewritable drive, but it is allowing the copying of the files to go much faster. So this portion of the setup has completed successfully. If there is a floppy disk inserted in drive A, remove it. Also, make compact disk from your CD-ROM drives. That's interesting. Okay, does it not need the disk anymore? That would be kind of neat if it didn't. So, regardless, we'll do what it says and eject the disk and restart the computer. Also, the manual focus makes the video look a lot better, at least from my perspective on the viewfinder. And there we go. Now it says one system processor. And this also comes with Service Pack 1, apparently. It also thinks that the file system is fat for some reason, even though I told it to format it in NTFS. So I'm not sure what that's all about. And another reboot. Okay, there's the graphical user interface that I was expecting. And now it wants the CD-ROM back in the drive. Whatever. I don't know why I didn't just keep it in there, but that's okay. You can also click OK if you want files to be copied from an alternate location, such as a floppy disk or a network server. Trying to do a network installation of Windows NT4, a lot of people would have been doing it back in the day because it was just easier. But that would certainly be something interesting to try, in my opinion, to set up a Windows NT4 server machine and try some stuff with that. If you guys agree, let me know down in the comments below if you'd like to see that. But now we're going to do the standard gathering of information for Windows NT. Can I just do... I'll just do that. Computer name. G6-200. Why not? Please enter a name of 15 characters or less. Administrator account. Please enter a password of 14 characters or less. Usually, by today's standards, you want the password to be at minimum 14 characters, and you'd want to have special characters such as at least one uppercase, lowercase, special symbol, number. So that's a weird blast from the past, but either way, we'll give it an administrator password here. Doesn't matter that much because I'm not going to be doing this. I'm not going to be doing much with this thing on the network, I don't think. But I don't want to create an emergency disk right now. Install the most common components. Installing Windows NT networking. I'm not sure if this has the drivers. I mean, we can try it. Start search. I don't think it's going to find anything, though. I think I'm going to need to provide the drivers for this manually. Yeah, this is the list of all the stuff that's supported. Unfortunately, I don't think too many PCI Ethernet cards are on here, though. Oh, there's PCI. Oh, that's token ring, though, so I don't know. It doesn't matter. Back. Do not connect to the network at this time. Finish setup. So yeah, we're definitely going to need to install some drivers once we're done here. We do not need to do it in Greenwich Mean Time. We can just go back to Central Time in United States and Canada. And I also think this is just a VGA compatible display driver, and oh, we can actually do 800 by 600 maybe. Cool, that works. Yes, it did. Use hardware default, that's fine. Yeah, we're definitely going to need to install our display drivers, network drivers, although I'm not sure if I want to do the network drivers at the moment. I might just put everything like on a... Well, actually, you know what? I really don't want to make a CDRW for this, so I might just go ahead and install the network drivers for my Ethernet card. It's probably supported, so that's not an issue. And it's been restarted successfully. Remove disks from floppy drive and compacted from CD-ROM drives. I hope it means this time that we can actually be done with this. Actually, no, it won't. No. I'm going to need to put it back in once I install the drivers for my display adapter and Ethernet card. And here, now we get to choose what we want to boot into. I think you can actually use this OS loader to dual boot into other operating systems such as Windows 95 and OS 2. So if you wanted to run both on your computer, you could probably do that if you'd like. And now we get a new security feature for Windows NT. You can press Control Alt and Delete to log on, or you have to press Control Alt Delete to log on. So we'll do that. And it's going to assign me as an administrator. And unlike Windows 98, you can't just click cancel to get by. You actually have to put in your password. You also shouldn't be using the administrator account to log in for day-to-day tasks. Ideally, you'd have a separate account with fewer permissions, or even better, have it connected to a domain and you can just get your credentials through that. But that's at least the beginning installation of Windows NT 4, and we'll be back to continue next time.